Guys, how's it going? I know I haven't posted any videos for a little while, and I want to try to make that up. I've got one I'm posting tonight, but in this video I just wanted to give a quick look at my garden and what I'm working on. I've still got some stuff that I'm adding to it. I've gotten a late start, later than I would have liked. I would have liked to have gotten a lot of this in the ground about a month and a half ago, but better late than never. Hopefully most of this will still pan out, but I'm going to flip the camera around and then I'll explain what I've got and hopefully what I plan to add. All right, here we go. Okay, here, these two plants here, these are pumpkin plants. These are the jack-o'-lantern type pumpkins, but they also produce enough meat for canned pumpkin, for pumpkin pies and things like that. My hope is to make enough, grow enough that I can have a couple of jack-o'-lanterns for Halloween, but also put up a couple of jars at least of some pumpkin for pies and stuff like that around Thanksgiving. So I've got those two plants there. Now over here I've got 2 rows of sweet corn. I know it's hard to tell right now because there's not really anything growing except for some grass, as you can see. But yeah, in these 2 rows right here, I've got some corn planted. Now on down here, I've got some, this is butternut squash right here. I've got 2 rows right here that reserved. One I'm going to put some carrots in, and the other I'm going to put some onions in. I need to get those in the ground. Here I've got some rattlesnake pole beans planted. 2 rows of that, using some of the bamboo out of my yard that I cut for the bean poles. Now these rattlesnake pole beans produce a good green snap bean, but they can also be shelled to make a dry bean. So it's kind of a dual purpose bean. All right, here, these 2 rows right here, I have my grandma's okra, which is a type of Clemson spineless, but it's some seed that my grandmother planted, saved seed, planted and saved, and she did that for years and years and years. She never bought it, she just saved her own seed and replanted over and over and over. And that's actually what this is, and I've come to refer to it as grandma's okra instead of the Clemson spineless okra, but it's actually coming up really thick. I planted it thick so that I could thin it out as I need to, but as you can see, it's all of this right here, this, some grass I need to weed, but all through here you can actually see it's coming up really good, and in this row as well. So I've got that. I'll have tons of okra. I've got several types of tomatoes planted. This one is an early girl tomato. I've already gotten 1 tomato off of this, and I'm hoping to get some more soon. This is a Sweet 100 cherry tomato. So I've got a couple of those that are about ripe, several green ones. This is another Sweet 100. I actually need to tie this up again. And the rest of these, this one right here, from here on down this way is Cherokee Purple. So as you can see, I've got some tomatoes. This one doesn't have any on it yet. Got several here. I got a couple here. Nothing on this one, but on this one, got a Nice little tomato, it looks like. And then I've got one right there as well. These are all Cherokee purple tomatoes. And it's a really good tomato. It's a meaty, flavorful tomato. Good for, if you're from the South, tomato sandwiches, or good meaty slices to go on burgers, things like that. Here I have some cucumbers, and then I've got to thin these out. I've got some plants. I planted them close together, but this is Liberty bell peppers, and this is the same thing. They're actually turning out more like a banana or a jalapeno as far as shape is concerned, but they're supposed to be Liberty bells. Oh, that one fell off. That's a shame. But actually, looks like an insect got into that. But so far, that's what I've gotten planted. Like I said, I still want to plant some stuff. I want to plant some carrots, some onions, both the bunching and the larger onions. And I'm thinking about trying to grow some potatoes. I've got a lot of space over here reserved. I'm thinking about growing some potatoes. I know the pumpkins will spread a lot, but I'm thinking about growing some potatoes, maybe some sweet potatoes. I don't know, it's getting kind of late in the year to be adding a bunch of stuff. And I was just trying to get some stuff in the ground as fast as possible with the way things are going. But so far, that's what I've got planted. It may not seem like a lot, but hopefully it'll produce a good bit. I mean, it's just me and my son, so I don't have a huge family to feed, and a little bit will go a long way. So every little bit will help. But that's what I've got so far. Now, around the rest of my yard, this is just my backyard, I've got a bunch of fruit trees and stuff planted. I've got some hedge bush growing up in this. This is a plum tree here, a gold plum if I recall. I don't think there's anything on this one right now. Yeah, and I've got some blackberries growing around the base of it. I have an apple tree here. This one is a Arkansas black, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly. Here I have some elderberry. This tall tree here, which should have been topped a long time ago, and I'll probably do that late this winter. This is a peach. Actually, don't recall what peach it is, but it is a peach. And then here I have another peach, and then this huge tree right here is pear. This one was on the property when I moved in, and as you can see, this thing is so loaded down, the branches are hanging down to the ground. I always get a ton of pears off of this tree. And in the front yard I have a plum and another peach out in the front yard. Now I also have in my yard, they're not really growing that well. I have trying to remember what this one is. I had them labeled at one time. See if I can remember. I had 2 pawpaw trees, and if you're not familiar with a pawpaw, it's often referred to as having a flavor similar to a banana and what is the other one? It's actually the largest fruit native to North American, native to the southeast specifically. This is a Granny Smith apple. In here I have, believe it or not, I actually have some maypop growing in here. There's a banana tree right there, but there's some maypop right there. I haven't had those produce anything yet. Here's another pawpaw. And that other one over there was a persimmon. This is a persimmon as well. And then I've got another pawpaw way back here, growing in all these weeds that I need to cut back. So I've actually got 2 persimmon and 2 pawpaw. So that's what I've got growing right now. I also have some muscadine growing along with my garden fence right here. So this is on the back side of my garden. The corn is growing right here, my pumpkins there, and on down on that end you've got the tomatoes and everything. It's not much, but you know, it's a decent little garden spot. Like, I got a late start on this garden because my tiller quit on me. I actually have a blueberry plant in there, and I have more muscadine here. But yeah, my the reason I got a late start was my tiller quit working on me, and it needed a new carburetor. But I couldn't find a carburetor anywhere. I couldn't find any part number to a carburetor. I went to multiple parts places and they couldn't identify what carburetor the tiller needed. So it just took me a while. I had to remove the carburetor off of the tiller and basically just do a search through every carburetor I could find online on like Amazon, eBay, whatever, until I found one that looked identical to it, because I didn't have the part number. So it took me a while to find it, but I eventually found it. I ordered it about 2 weeks ago, and I waited a week, and I didn't get a notice that that it had shipped. So I found a second one, ordered that one, got it in within 2 days, put it on my tiller, tilled up my garden, and then 4 days after that, the original carburetor arrived. And I'm thinking, okay, well, I've got a new one on my tiller. This will be a spare, a backup. Well, turns out today I got another one in the mail. So apparently, somehow my order got messed up through that very first one that I ordered, and they ended up shipping me 2 different carburetors. Maybe they thought that they didn't ship it out or something. I'm not sure what exactly happened. So now I've got 2 spares, which I'm not going to complain about that. I'll put it back. These new carburetors, sometimes they tend to go bad pretty quick, so I'll put it back. Hey, I've got 2 backups. Can't complain about that. But that's my little old garden, and the few other things that I've got planted right now. I've got some other stuff I'm wanting to work on, stuff I'm wanting to plant, and I'll be adding that in as soon as I can. Hopefully it's not too late. It's a little late to be putting in any kind of salads or broccoli or anything like that. What I want to do is wait till maybe early September, late August, early September, and then plant in some of that when all of this other stuff is kind of starting to die back. And then as the weather starts cooling off, that'll be a good time for salad greens, for broccoli, carrots, maybe some peas. I want to try to grow some sweet peas. and things like that. Stuff that does really well during cool or cold weather. But it's not super impressive. It's just a humble little garden, but hopefully it'll help provide some stuff that my family can use. Anyway, just thought I'd give you a quick look at what I've got. I'll give you updates as the year progresses and as the plants grow. This is only my second year growing in this spot, and I can already tell you this is some really hard packed clay. It's not the most fertile ground. It's really poor soil, so I'm having to try to build it up as best I can. Last year my garden didn't do really well at all. I've got just a handful of beans and maybe 1 or 2 tomatoes, and that was all I was able to get out of this garden because the soil is so poor. But I'm working on amending it, building it up, and hopefully as over the next couple of years I'll get it to do a lot better. But anyway, like I said, that's just a quick overview of my humble little garden. Nothing real impressive, but it is what it is. Hopefully it'll help provide for my family. I've got more videos coming, more things I want to cover. I know I keep saying that. Please be patient with me, guys. But I do appreciate you guys watching, and just stay tuned. Y'all have a great day. Thanks.